Stevie Wonder can even see how much this is costing us. So gas prices are going up. It's almost $10 in California. And fertilizer is going up. I mean, you name it, the prices have gone up. And this dude, Dr. Jesus, okay, is wanting to spend $2 billion of your money every single day rather than help you get health care.
Is that what we want? Now, I got to tell you, she had me at Dr. Jesus. That was funny. Making fun of Stevie, not great taste. What she said at the end, I think that's what's wrong with our politics. Look, I get the outrage, but it's how you express it and what you choose to be with it. And I'm not the only person who thinks that, all right? Independents think that, all right? And people who are deciding to run for office, especially who are younger, are trying to do it differently. They see public service for what it is supposed to be, the serving part, being bipartisan, being collaborative, that those aren't weaknesses, that opposition is not the only viable position, okay? Healthcare is a perfect example. It'll never get done this way, and that seems okay with everyone in power, but not those seeking it. I want to introduce you to two people doing things differently in a way that caught my attention. First, Democratic candidate for Congress, Alabama's District 5, Mr. Andrew Sneed. You know how I met him? He called in to Sirius Radio, where I do my show 7 to 9 in the morning with Dusty the Big Star, and he pushed up and he won. He got our attention. And Elizabeth Dempsey Beggs, also a Democrat, running in Virginia. And this is what got me. So I see her with her opponent, and she's talking about with the opponent about how, listen, we disagree, but we got to do this, and we got to collaborate, we got to have the best thing, and come out and see us both. I'd never seen anything like that before, so I invited them both on. Andrew, Elizabeth, thank you very much for taking the opportunity.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for having me, Chris.
So, Elizabeth, let me start with you. I'm showing a clip of you with two of the other people running right now. What is your thinking of how you win by working with your competitors?
Well, I think when we use the term win, what does win really mean? There's me taking the seat, but great, this is more important than my ego. A win is that we can actually work towards making the change that we need to see in our government, that we can work towards bringing back accountability. These things we talked about earlier, healthcare, we need affordable healthcare. Reality is I have 4 young kids at home. I entered this race because they deserve better than the world that we're handing them right now. I'm going to fight for that. But if it's not me who takes the seat, I need to make sure it's somebody else who will also fight for that. And we can show there is a new way forward in this. We can do something to make this look different. A world where we don't have to be enemies, where someone that has the same ideals as me, that has the same policy and platform, yeah, we might disagree a little bit, but we have both chose to do this the hard way and saying we're not taking any corporate money. We said we're small donor funded. Why would we not combine our resources and get as many people engaged in understanding what's actually going on in our politics right now as possible? We're not enemies in this. We're all working towards something better. Why would we not help each other?
You make my little heart grow 2.5 sizes, just like the Grinch. And I'm not being cynical about it. I'm not being snarky. It really caught me. And I love it. And I love that it's coming from your generation. And now, so I got to balance it, right? And what is the balance? Andrew, you know what the balance is. Yeah, great. You're going to hand it to the Republicans because they're going to be standing over there and saying, look at these 3 chooches over there with their socialist ideas. And they just want to give everything to everybody. And that's why you can't vote for these crazy radicals, because fear is what sells in politics in a binary zero-sum system. Now, Andrew, you too decide to reject that. Why?
Well, you know, the opposite of love is fear, not hate. So, you know, this is supposed to be a service business. Politics is supposed to be a service business. I've been in the service business for 25 years. I'm a plumber, so I don't know if I fit that, and a small business owner, I don't think I fit that socialist model. I work under houses for a living. But, you know, and Elizabeth is part of this big coalition that we've built of, you know, 100+ Democrats across the country working together for fundamental government reform to say that this is about everyone else, us, not me. You know, this is not about me. This is supposed to be about y'all, and if we could have some politicians that would focus more on that and less about grabbing attention, then we might start getting some things done again.
You know what I thought was also interesting? Both of you, you're not great at tooting your own horn. The artisan thing for you, Andrew, is a huge untapped potential. We're having a generational shift. You know, my parents, there was a feeling, even though we had so many members of the trades in our family, that we want better for you than that. Now, the income, the opportunities entrepreneurially, it's huge. You can't play to that enough. Similarly, it's really interesting in going over pretty precisely, Elizabeth, your stuff. You have a phenomenal military resume. You have a phenomenal military resume. You do not lean on it the way we're used to seeing. You're not piping off about the war. I'm a tank commander and I did this, and let me tell you something, Trump doesn't know anything, a tank from a tank, why not?
Well, I'm very proud of my military service, and it's something that even when you talk about Congress getting things done, it was possible because when I first joined the military, women couldn't even serve in combat arms. By the time I went to commission, I was one of the first 50 women to do so as an armor officer because Congress lifted the ban on that. Like you said earlier, it's not zero sum. And the way I've chosen to serve in my community, running for this office, is an extension of that service. Military is a way that I served, and I love serving. I loved everybody that I served with, but I also serve as a foster parent. My husband is a veteran and now serves as a firefighter. The social workers we work with every day, our teachers, our nurses, they all serve their community just as much as I did on a tank. So we've chosen to continue this type of service, but there's multiple ways to do that. Yes, I loved my service. Yes, being on a tank was incredibly fun, and it taught me very important lessons, especially in flipping this very vulnerable seat that's held by a Republican. But there's so many other important things.
Listen, I got to tell you, I like what you guys are about. I like what you guys are about, and it's not about the D. You know how I am. I'm anti-partisan. I get that that is not realistic if you want to hold these seats. I get it. I get it. But I don't have you here because you're Democrats, okay? If I had Republicans who caught my ear and my eye the same way, I'd have them on. In fact, I'll have them on with you. You both have platforms here for the duration of your races to make the case to the American people. And I appreciate how you're choosing to do it. Andrew, Plumber should be with a capital P, brother, because they're some of the fastest growing entrepreneurial opportunities we have. And Elizabeth, I wish you well. Andrew, last word to you.
What Elizabeth and I are really about is we want to bring balance and accountability back to Congress. We just need Congress to be Congress again and stop whining about the executive, and we can take responsibility and clean up our own house. So look up balance and accountability candidates like Elizabeth and myself, and 100 plus across 36 states, from Alaska to Florida.
I appreciate you both. We'll talk again soon. And again, Republicans, if you're doing it the same way, if you're willing to work with the other side and that's not the end of the sentence, you got ideas for it like these two, you're welcome. Andrew Sneed, Elizabeth Dempsey Beggs, thank you both. Good luck.
Thank you.